size of this National Agriculture Research and Education System, we are one of the biggest in the world. The agriculture universities in the country, if you look at the composite universities, 49% of the composite universities. There was no concept of separate universities like veterinary university, horticulture university, forestry university and all. In the last 10 years, this concept has come in, and there is, if again, I don't want to go into the details, there is again advantages and disadvantages of separating these universities from the mainstream of the agriculture. The agricultural education towards a wider reach, I mentioned about the SAUs, deemed to be universities, central universities, and universities with agriculture syllabus. If you look at, because the topic says that equal opportunity for all, so how we divide the education. So we have 45% of the OBC candidates getting into our agriculture system, and 37% general merit candidates, 11% SC and 7% ST candidates. This is a scenario of the country, the entire country. And we are attracting talented students to agriculture these years, because if you take about 10 to 15 years back, only the students who are not getting admission to medical, dental and engineering, they were getting into agriculture. Now, even the students, some students, those who got medical seat, those who got dental seat, engineering seat, they quit and come to agriculture, because there is a lot of scope for agriculture these days. And I will tell you why there is a lot of scope. I have some couple of slides to show the scope for Indian agriculture, or scope for agriculture as a whole in many countries. And if you look at the kind of students we are getting, one the students even with more than 90% of marks in 12th grade are being attracted towards the agriculture stream. The category-wise distribution is, no, this is not required. From rural and urban areas, if you look at the education for undergraduate and postgraduate, from rural and from 57% of the students come from the villages for undergraduate, and 22% from cities, and the towns only 21%. For postgraduate education, again, the 53% of the students come from the rural areas, and only 25% come from the cities areas, because we know that the agriculture is the main profession, and 52% of the people live in the rural areas in our country. Coming to the attracting female candidates and the girls towards the agriculture. When I was a student, we never had girls in agriculture. Nobody used to come for agriculture. If we had to see the girls, we had to go to city and see the girls. In our campus, not by mistake, even not a single girl was there in the campus in any of our class, because that was the scene about 25 years back. Now, if you go to any universities, I had an occasion to visit Assam Agriculture University very recently, about 2 weeks back, when I went to address the students, and I hardly could find the boys. There were only girls. Then I asked the dean, what is the percent of girls getting admitted to university? He said that more than 70% of the students admitted are girls in this university. So also in Kerala, in many universities. But we have taken the general statistics from all over the country. You can just see the girls, how there has been increase in the number of girl students getting admitted to agriculture stream under both undergraduate and postgraduate stream. That green color, bar indicates the girls, and from 32% to 45% now. On an average, 43% of the students admitted to agriculture stream are the female students. So that is what is really happening. Even for postgraduate program, there is not much change from the postgraduate program in the last 5 years. This I mentioned about the scope for agriculture, because when I was a registrar in the university, I used to sit in the admission committee, and the students used to ask while taking admission out of curiosity, sir, what is my scope after 4 years? Will I be able to get a job? I gave a confidence to the students that after 4 years, if you don't get a job, you come back to me, I will get you a job, which will pay not less than 25,000 rupees. That is the kind of confidence we have to infuse into the students to get into agriculture stream, and that has come true. And none of the agriculture graduates, at least in Karnataka I know, but the rest of the country, probably it is true with other parts of the country also, none of the agriculture graduates are unemployed in Karnataka. At least my students, none of my student is unemployed unless he wants to go back to farming or go back and he is lethargic, he is unemployed. Otherwise, not because of the want of job. There are plenty of jobs for the agriculture graduates in the market. And you can see the supply and the demand. There is a wide gap between the supply and demand between all the sectors of agriculture. When I speak of agricultural sciences, it includes horticulture, forestry, veterinary, fisheries, dairy, engineering and agriculture biotechnology, which has started very late, and we have less number of students in agriculture biotechnology. So this is the supply and the demand graph, and there is a wide gap between the supply and demand, and we need to produce more and more agriculture graduates. And we have collected the statistics now. On an average, we can say every year about 25,000 agriculture graduates are being produced, but the requirement is more than 50,000. So that means we are only producing 50% of the requirement of agriculture graduates in our country. There are some initiatives taken by the ICR. I will not go into the details. I think it is irrelevant at this point of time. We have another important thing which I would like to bring it to the notice of the House is that ICR has initiated this year Student Ready program. Ready means Rural Entrepreneurship Awareness Development Yojana. This is introduced this year. We want to make the students, when they get out of the graduation, like when a student is admitted to medical, so you will have 1 year housemanship. Similar to housemanship, we want to introduce in agriculture so that when the students complete their graduation, they should not go in search of jobs. They can go for their own entrepreneurship development, and the efforts are going on. We had a meeting with the commodity boards on an all India basis, and then we have plugged about to 15 commodity boards where our students can be trained for nearly 6 months, so that there will not be any problem for these students to find jobs or start their own enterprise. This is not required. We have international linkages with many other countries, and especially India is offering education to Afghan students and African students. So very big program which is going on, and we also send students to other countries under ICR Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose scholarship. Their expenditure is taken by care totally, including the airfare and the living expenses, everything by the ICR. We are investing a lot of money in that. Just we want to have trained manpower to be developed in our country. And there are a number of job opportunities, as I mentioned. Absolutely, there is no dearth of jobs for the agriculture graduates. They can join banks. There are many of the agriculture graduates are in the state service sectors. They are in the central service, and there is absolutely no problem for the agriculture graduates. This is the skill pyramid in agriculture sector. We have recently started diploma courses. So these diploma courses only for 2 years, and now these diploma courses we want to start at the national level, and we want to make 3 years diploma course, because in Gujarat state already they have diploma for 3 years course, and these 3 years students can get a lateral entry into BSc Agriculture. In the Academic Council of Junagadh Agriculture University, we passed a resolution recently that the students can get admission to second year BSc Agriculture after having completed 3 years of diploma, because you would have learnt some of the subjects which are being taught in the first year of BSc Agriculture. So these kinds of new thinkings are going on and reforming the education standards in this country. I mentioned about the female students, how there has been a rise in the female students or the girls getting admitted to agriculture. In 1971, it was only 0.8% of the class was the girl students. Now in 2015, it is 42% on all India basis. There has been a gradual rise from 0.8 to 42%. In the last 5 years, there has been a big jump in the number of girls getting admitted to all agriculture courses. The present and the projected outturn required in 2020 in crop sciences, this is made different sciences, crop sciences, physical sciences and all those things. We will not go into the details of those things. The need for agriculture in the mainstream of education, what is really required, and the thinking is going on. And in the CCA note, that is Cabinet Committee Approval Note by the Government of India, which is chaired by the Honorable Prime Minister. In the CCA note, it is mentioned, and we have also, Education Division has agreed that we try to introduce agriculture at the school level, and for which a syllabus needs to be prepared. And we are in the process of preparing the syllabus because we know that agriculture is important. We say that 70% of the people live in the rural areas, and then we don't have the introduction of agriculture at the school level. Even government of Karnataka was thinking some time back, about a decade back, and it fizzled out in between. I do not know what happened. But now government of India is thinking, already it is approved by the cabinet, that we have to introduce agriculture at the school level. Efforts are being made to write to UGC chairman. We have already communicated to UGC chairman to see that at school level, at starting with the 8th standard onwards until PUC, the agriculture is supposed to be introduced as one of the compulsory subjects in this, and the efforts are on in that direction. These are some general things. Again, I would like to mention here that the R&D investment, if you look at why our productivity is less as a whole in India or in developed countries compared to other nations, is US spends about 2.8% of GDP in the R&D investments, while India, it is only 0.8%. But if you see the most of the developed countries like UK, Italy, Brazil, and Russia, the amount of spending on R&D activities is much higher compared to spending on R&D activities in our country. Again, I got some paper cuttings. More women studying medicine, but your doctor is still likely to be a man. You can see the percent of students getting admitted to medical colleges is about 50% now, and there has been a gradual rise from 38.8% in 1991-92 to 50.6 in 2014-15. So similarly, and if you look at the rise in the female students getting admitted to medical, it is much rapid in agriculture compared to medical, because already there is high number of girl students getting admitted to medical education. The scientific output is also much less in India compared to many other countries. If you see the patents, India has in 2013 had only 17 patents, and the maximum patents were from South Korea. A small country, they had about 4,451 patents, and the researchers number is also much less. You can just see the 4 compared to 79 in UK, 79 in UK and US, and you can see the 4 per 10,000 labor force. And the publications, the number of publications also, we almost 10 times lower compared to many of these developed countries. So these are some of the things which we need to address. In the present day context, so these about the developing countries, we have to really consider their economic status, and we have to plan our research, or we have to plan our programs as per the economic status of the individual countries. With this, once again, thank the organizers, especially Dr. Rupa is here. I mentioned her name, and I'm happy to see you. And I thank all of you for giving me an opportunity to share some of my views this evening. Thank you very much.